Okay. So in last class, we have completed try with resource. And today let us try to understand Java 7 new feature 2 with respect to exception handling, catch with multiple exceptions. What the meaning of catch with multiple exceptions? Up to Java 6 version, we have to handle each exception separately by writing catch of arithmetic exception, catch of array index out of bounds exception, catch of number format exception we have to write. From Java 7 version onwards, we can write single catch block with all exception class names. Okay, now? Then what is the separator between one exception to another exception? Or is the separator? Okay, while you are creating catch with multiple exceptions, the exception classes must be siblings, should not be super subclasses. If you write super subclasses, compiler throw error. So from Java 7 version onwards, we can create catch block with multiple exceptions as parameter as shown below. Okay, try like this. If you have, when to use this topic, when to use multiple catch with multiple exceptions. If you have same logic for execution, if we have same logic for executing for different exceptions, we must combine catching those exceptions using single catch block. What the rule while working with this one? We must use OR operator as separator, singular. We must use only one parameter name, only one name you have to use. Why we are not providing separate name for each exception? Array, from a try block, can 3 exceptions at a time rise? Come on, from try block, 3 exceptions can rise at a time? No, only one exception. Na? Arithmetic exception or array index out of bounds exception or number format exception will be raised. So inside try block, the raised exception will come and stored in E dot logic we are writing. So we must use only one parameter name. Alternatives in multiple catch statement cannot be related by subclassing, means they must be siblings. So this is the knowledge about multiple catch exceptions. Take screenshot. Now let's try to see program. Huh? Look at this code. For array index out of bounds exception, number format exception, I want to display one error message. Please enter only integers, 2 integers. Then in that case, I have to write one catch block with 2 exceptions. For arithmetic exception, I want to write separate logic. And for any other exception raised in the program, I want to display complete information, then catch of exception. This is a backup catch block. Okay, write on this. I mean, take screenshot. No need to write, take screenshot. Later, you try to copy into your notes. Give me 2 minutes. Right. Let me try to compile and execute. Java C. Compile it. Execute. I'm not giving any arguments. You will get array index out of bounds exception. Now, array index out of bounds exception rise at this line number. That exception object is stored in E variable and then display this message. Next. Now, Java C. Now, if you run this program by giving AB, now number format exception is raised here, number format exception raised here, and number format exception matched here, E variable storing that exception displayed same message. Okay, and then I'm giving here 10, 10, 0. I'll get arithmetic exception. Now it's not matched with these exception catch blocks. It will go to this catch block and this error message displayed. If any other exceptions rise here, that will catch by this catch block. Hope you all understand multiple catch blocks. Then what is the rule while working with multiple catch blocks? Look at that. Rule number 1, separator must be single R. I have used single R, it will work. No compile time error. If I use double R, compiler throw error. Okay, if I use single and compiler throw error. What the meaning of single and? You will get both exception, this exception and this exception. 2 exceptions will come. Wrong idea. The next, comma also compiler throw error because they are not 2 parameters. One parameter either that or this. Next, rule number 2, we must use only single parameter name. We cannot provide separate parameter name E1 and E2, compiler throw error. Okay, and next, rule number 3, exception classes must be only siblings, must not be super and subclasses. If you write super subclasses, we'll get compile time error. Alternatives in a multi-catch statement cannot be related by subclass. That's all. So this is the basic idea you have to understand. Take screenshot. Completed? So this is the story about what do you call exception handling, Java 7 new features and Java 9 improvement. Now we need to understand the last topic of exception handling, that is custom exception. What is custom exception? What is custom exception, or what is user defined an exception? See, custom or user defined means your own. What is a custom class? Create your own class. What is user defined class? Create your own class. String class is predefined. System class is predefined. Class A is your own class. Class B is your own class. Class student your own class. You want to create your own class, then why you are creating your own class? Sun has given hundreds of classes, not hundreds, lakhs of classes given, right? Sun has given lakhs of classes. Then why we should create our own class? What the need of creating our own class? Sun given all classes are meant for performing operations for Java software, not for our project. For my project, I want to develop our own code. Again repeating, for my project, I need to develop our own code. For developing project for our own code, sorry, I need to develop code for my own project, then I should create my own class now. Sun will not give the operations to perform student operation, employee operation, bank account operation. We have to create our own. Sun Microsystem will not give in a class for online transaction. Sun Microsystem will not give classes for, Amazon operation, Flipkart operation, Paytm operation, Gmail operation, Google operation, YouTube operation. You have to create our own class. While creating our own class to perform our project operation, we should use predefined classes given by Sun. Similarly, Sun Microsystem has given so many exceptions. Okay, Sun Microsystem has provided so many exception classes. Then my question is, all these exception classes are not suitable for our project. Those exception classes are for Java language level operator problems to handle, Java API level input values operations to handle, and JVM level problems to handle. JVM level problems to handle, Java operator problems to handle, Java resources inputs level problems to handle, not for our projects to handle. For example, let me take bank account project as usual. Okay, now in bank account project, you have deposit and you have withdraw. Okay, deposit, if you want to deposit, can I take negative number? Negative number as a amount can I take? For a deposit operation, negative number can I take? No. For withdraw operation, can I take negative number? No. Are you catching my point? So we cannot take negative number for a deposit withdraw. Tell me, to stop negative number, I have to throw one exception. Is a Sun Microsystem has given any exception for me to stop negative number? No. Then we have to create our own exception class. Tell me, if I write class A, open bracket, closed bracket, is it considered as exception class? Come on. Is it considered as exception class? No. I'm creating class lion, open bracket, closed bracket. Is it considered as animal? I'm writing class bike, open bracket, closed bracket. Is it considered as a vehicle? I'm writing class, parrot, open bracket, closed bracket. Is it considered as a bird? No. If you want to say one class is a particular type of another class, it should be subclass or it should derive from that particular class. Are you catching my point? Are you catching my point? If you want to say your class A is an exception class, which is used for creating object and throw by throw keyword, which is used by throws keyword to report, which is used by catch block to catch. If you want to use your class name with throw keyword, throws keyword, and catch keyword, it should be of what type? Throwable type, right? It should be of what type? Throwable type. Means your class must be subclass of throwable. Then only your class will be considered as exception class. So tell me, what is a custom exception? A class that is newly created by programmer. A class that is newly created by programmer by deriving from either throwable or one of its subclasses is called exception class. Custom exception class or user defined exception class. Everyone understand the definition? What is a custom exception or user defined exception? A class that is derived from throwable, a class that is newly created by a programmer by deriving from either throwable or one of its subclasses is called exception, custom exception or user defined exception. Okay. Now my question is, there are hundreds of exception classes in java.lang package and other packages. Then your class must be derived from which class? I told you there are 4 major classes: throwable, error, exception, runtime exception, right? So these are the 4 classes we have. Then now my question, somebody is asking now session started or not. Now I want to take a class as A. This class A want to derive from throwable, derive from error, derive from exception, derive from runtime exception. Okay, tell me, we have 4 options now. Which option is best? Decide. Which option is best? Everyone should answer. First, let us take decision on error. Deriving class from error, is it suitable or not suitable? Is it good idea, bad idea? It is bad idea. Why? There is no compile time error. There is no runtime error. The problem is, if you write your class deriving from error, you are indirectly telling that, okay? You are indirectly telling that you are handling JVM level problem, right? Can you handle JVM level problem? Is my question understand? We cannot handle JVM level problems, right? So writing a class deriving from error is a bad idea. That's why this option gone. Next. If you write a class deriving from throwable, tell me, you are creating one more sibling, one more hierarchy, na? Sun Microsystem told that you must create a class only from either error, or if you have to create exception type classes only either from error or exception, JVM level problem, API level problem, then your A is belongs to which category? So you are creating a new category. It is also bad approach. If you create A as a new category, I told you when you write try block as a backup catch block to catch any exception you are writing, catch of throwable or catch of exception? Catch of exception. Then tell me, is your A class can be catched by this catch block? No, right? So this is the right idea, wrong idea? Wrong idea. So deriving a class from throwable, deriving a class from error is wrong idea. Then now 2 options you have. These 2 classes are meant for handling API level problems, right? Then tell me, if you derive a class from exception, it will become fully checked exception, right? If you derive a class from runtime exception, it will become unchecked exception, right? Then when you throw new A as a checked exception, it is mandatory to handle. If you write here to throw new A, because it is unchecked exception, it is optional to handle. Then now tell me, if you want to make your exception handling is optional, you have to create your class as subclass of come on, it's a subclass of whom? Unchecked exception, optional to handle. If you want to mandatory handle your exception, you must create a subclass of exception. Tell me which option is best. Creating your exception class as checked exception or unchecked exception? Come on, which option is best? Creating your class as checked exception or unchecked exception? If you create your class as a checked exception, it is mandatory to handle. Every level this exception is handled and program terminated normally with the proper error message by writing proper exception handling backup logic. For example, you take a Paytm. I want to take Paytm as an example, live example. In Paytm, you want to recharge your mobile. Now you selected, you entered your mobile number, you entered your service provider, you entered your amount to recharge. Then Paytm software, Paytm web project is contacting your bank application to deduct that money. From the bank application, money deducted, collected that money back. Hello, how your Paytm project can access the bank project? I hope you remember distributed application, web services. By using web services distributed application, it can contact. Bank people has published one web service that is consumed by Paytm. Again, Spring Boot class, Raghu sir will teach you that point. And in Spring Boot class, Natraj sir will teach you that point. Okay, Natraj sir will take care, Raghu sir will take care. Then in Paytm, then after money deducted, now the money, now that money will be adding to your mobile, accessing the mobile project. Okay, now mobile balance variable is added in the server and coming back and displaying the message to you, your mobile recharge successful. Here also another web service. So mobile company, for example, your company is let's say BSNL. BSNL website to access, they will provide one web service to you. With that web service, you can access BSNL project and you can add the balance to the mobile. Then finally, message is displaying successfully with successfully recharged. Now try to understand here, the story is very important. After money deducted, let's say 550 rupees I want to deduct. 550 rupees deducted, trying to add 550 rupees to the mobile. Due to some reason, due to some network issues or due to some reason, the transaction failed. Then the 550 rupees deducted from my account lost, no? No. Because this entire transaction you are writing where? In try catch. Paytm developed in Java. In the try, you initiate a transaction. If the transaction is failed, then in catch block, transaction failed exception, you are catching. Then here you will write the logic to revert the transaction. You know, whenever transaction failed, Paytm will display message, the transaction failed, your money will be added to either Paytm wallet. If you have enabled your Paytm wallet, so money is added to Paytm wallet. If your Paytm wallet is not activated, then your money will be added to your bank. And finally, what happened, buddy? The money
This
transaction is
meeting is
lost.
being
Then next
recorded.
time when you go to Paytm, will you go to Paytm? Next time when you want to recharge your mobile, will you choose Paytm? No. So Paytm has given the assurance to the customer, your money is safe. If a transaction failed also, your money is safe, they have guaranteed. That's why we are choosing Paytm. Now all you people tell me now, because of which exception, which type of exception handling is guaranteed? Which type of exception guaranteed to handle? Checked unchecked? Checked exception is guaranteedly forcing us to handle. Tell me, checked exception is best for projects, business applications, exception handling, or unchecked exception is best? Checked exception best, unchecked exception best? You decide. I have given a scenario to you, you decide. Checked exception best, unchecked exception best? Unchecked exceptions not forcing you to handle. Then if you forgot to handle that exception to write try catch, then at runtime we are losing the values, we are losing the money, business losing. So handling exception must be mandatory. So as per core Java business applications knowledge, we decided our user defined exceptions 99% of the times we must create them as checked exception for guaranteed to handle, because checked exceptions are giving benefit. And that 1% you have to create your checked exceptions as your custom exception as unchecked exceptions. Okay, if you feel that even this exception not handle, not a problem, it is a programmer choice. You wanted to give a choice to the programmer. Okay, it's your wish, you want to handle, otherwise leave it. That type of situation, if you want, you can create it as unchecked exception. Unfortunately, in Spring classes, I don't know in the Naresh IT or outside of the Naresh IT, Spring faculties are telling checked exceptions are bad design. Good design, because unchecked exceptions we are not forced to handle, checked exceptions are forced to handle. Okay, Spring level faculties are telling these points. Okay, some of your seniors has told me, because at core Java level I am telling checked exceptions are best, but at Spring level your faculties are telling unchecked exceptions are best, checked exceptions are worst design, because we are forced to handle unnecessary throws keyword we need to write, unnecessary try catch we need to write. I don't know from what context they are telling. You should understand their context. Okay, na? Because I didn't learn Spring from any of the Amirpet faculties. I don't know. Okay, what I asked the students, in what context Sari is telling checked exceptions are worst and unchecked exceptions are good? Okay, ask them some example. Okay, ask them. I give an example. I proved that checked exceptions are best. So ask them, give a scenario where unchecked exceptions are best, checked exceptions are not best. I don't know, students unable to give the proper example to me. So if you hear this statement in your advanced Java or Spring Boot classes by any faculty, just ask them, give me scenario, sir. This is the scenario we learn in core Java. Hari sir told that, directly tell my name, okay? Hari sir told that checked exceptions are best. You are telling unchecked exceptions are best. Which one I should tell in the interview? If interview ask a question, which one I should tell? Directly, either Naresh ID faculty or outside faculty, you can tell directly my name. Okay, all faculties knows about me. Is it clear? Okay, what I understood, Spring framework, all exceptions are Spring framework, all exceptions are unchecked exceptions. Okay, when you are accessing any Spring framework API in your class, you no need to handle any exception. Why Spring framework exceptions are created as unchecked exception? From the Spring framework point of, people are telling that, okay, they are the best, unchecked exceptions are best, we no need to handle. Now you people know advanced Java JDBC. In advanced Java JDBC, you must handle SQL exception. In a servlet, you should handle servlet exception, right? In JSP, you must handle JSP exception. So some people are telling that JDBC is wrongly designed, servlet is wrongly designed. Java people are inventors. They don't know which exception to use properly. As Amirpet faculty, you decided that is a wrong design. Wonderful, super marvelous. అసలు JDBC is wrong design, people are telling అంటే దండేసి దండం పెట్టాలి. ఓకేనా? When I heard that statement by students, sir, the faculty telling that JDBC is wrongly designed, SQL exception, they created a checked exception, we have to handle unnecessarily. Whereas if you take Spring Framework, all exceptions are unchecked. Spring Framework is the best designed. Arey, the class you developed, it is a background executed by Spring Framework, Ravi. Your class name you are configuring Spring Framework XML file, right? As a bean class. Then your class is running, your class object is created and your class methods are executed under the context of what? Spring Framework. Inside Spring Framework they are running. Inside Spring Framework they have maybe implicitly they have try and catch block. The entire class you are calling will be under try catch of that exception. What are the unchecked exceptions are there? Those exceptions they're handling. That's why they guaranteed handling those exceptions. That's why they created as an unchecked exception to make your program free from handling that exception. That is what my understanding. I don't know, Ray. I don't know Spring, okay? I don't know Spring. Why Spring Framework has created exception as a unchecked exceptions? Because your class is executing in Spring Framework. So Spring Framework has provided a try catch block to catch all exceptions coming from Spring Framework to make your project normal flow of execution. That's why you are free from handling that exceptions. JDBC class not executing in JDBC framework. JDBC is not a framework. JDBC API you are calling, you have to develop the framework by your own. Servlet is not a framework. Servlet methods you are overriding. From that method you are throwing exception. Okay. And some other methods are throwing those exceptions. So don't say it is wrong design, it is right design. Okay. Just you try to accept it and try to follow it. Okay. Got clarity? Yeah. Yeah. Servlet class is also executing under Servlet container only. Okay, Servlet class is also executing under Servlet container. Servlet container also handling Servlet exception, but still Servlet exception class is created as a checked exception to handle, to tell you it's a overriding methods, na? Init method, service method are overriding methods. To the overriding method, what exception to throw should be decided by Java people, right? If that Servlet exception is created as an unchecked exception, then in place of Servlet exception, whatever exceptions you want, you can throw. Those exceptions cannot be handled by Servlet container. So that's why they want to force you to only throw Servlet exception out of init method and service method with exception chaining. They have created Servlet exception as a checked exception. You know, for everything there is a reason behind. You should not say this is a wrong design, this is a right design. Are you that much talented person? Why you are in Amirpet? You can design your own new framework now. You can create your own new framework and you can be like a Gavin King, like a Rod Johnson, like a James Gosling, right? So it's not good idea commenting the people who has invented these frameworks and languages. You should understand the design issue behind why they have created like that. Okay. So finally, what is the conclusion? A custom exception is always recommended to create as a checked exception for mandatory to handle and complete the program termination normally. So now 100% subclass of error is wrong design, 100% subclass of throwable is wrong design, and 99% is a good design creating as a checked exception as subclass of exception. 1% is a good design creating as an unchecked exception. Is it clear to all? If you create your class as a subclass of exception, this is what? Fully checked exception. That means all 7 or 8 rules we have discussed, all rules are applied. So when you throw or when you report, when you receive, you have to handle. And when you, without throwing exception from the try block, you cannot catch it. Like the totally 8 rules we discussed, all 8 rules are applicable. So we covered 3 points. Number 1, what is custom exception? Number 2, how to create custom exception. Number 3, what is the recommended way of creating custom exception and why? And 4th point, steps to create custom exception. Ready na? What are the steps to create custom exception? Okay, create a class. Boring. 8 to 9:30. What is this Rachada sir torturing us like anything? All our people are feeling torturing me. Torturing, I mean, I'm torturing you. 8 to 9:30. Sir, from the day beginning we joined the batch, you are troubling us like anything. Okay, some days you took class 8. I know. Some days you took class for 9 to 10. Some days you take in 10 to 11. Next day 9:30 to 10. You are troubling us like anything, sir. Huh? Thank you so much for your support. Okay. However, I am troubling you. You are ready to face the problems, supporting me and learning everything. Thank you so much. Okay. How much I am troubling you, but I am giving full knowledge now. Right? I'm not skipping any points. I'm giving full knowledge. I'm trying my best. So don't worry. Just one more month, support me. Okay, maximum 1 month. Okay. And we'll complete our entire syllabus and you can be free from Hare Krishna. Okay. Right. Today we will try to complete the project, exceptional handling project will complete today, and exceptional chapter we are winding today. Okay. Next chapter is multi-threading. Okay. Next chapter is multi-threading. Tomorrow also I cannot take class at 9 o'clock. Is it clear? Tomorrow also I cannot take class at 9 o'clock. Okay. But tomorrow evening 8 p.m. also I don't take class. Because multi-threading class, I want all the students present in the class. So we will go for regular classes. Okay, now? I want to take regular class. Tomorrow, no 9 a.m. and also 8 p.m. and also no 8 p.m. class. Nana, I'm talking about 9 a.m. batch now. First, let me complete. I'm talking about 9 a.m. batch, right? It's not 7 a.m. batch now. It's 9 a.m. batch. Don't mix from 7 and 9, okay? It's 9 a.m. batch students. Tomorrow 9 a.m. and no 8 p.m. Second point, from tomorrow, no 8 p.m. class. From tomorrow onwards, no 8 p.m. class, not required. 8 p.m. class, not required. Okay, got clarity? Yeah? We'll have only 9 a.m. slot. Okay, na? From Friday, we will start multi-threading. Okay, na? From Friday, we'll start multi-threading. So what we from tomorrow, you must start string handling. I don't know whether you already started string handling or not. String handling videos already started. Huh? From tomorrow, you must start string handling chapter videos. Okay. tomorrow we will have, 7 a.m. class at 6 p.m. 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. collections. People who are attending 7 a.m. class, for them this notice, not for all students. Okay, buddy? And now
This
let's start
meeting
class.
is being
Let's
recorded.
continue class. After multi-threading collections, operators videos already there, Ravi. BM Reddy. Operators already there. Join C language for more depth. If you want to learn logical programming, you have to join C language, not Java. In Java, you don't get it. In Java, we will use logical programming. Now tell me now how to create custom class. Custom exception class. Class A extends from exception. Inside class, we will create fields, static, non-static fields. Inside class, we can create constructor for initial. Okay, we can create blocks. We can create blocks for initializing static, non-static fields. We can create constructor for initializing non-static fields. Okay, and we can create methods to perform business operations, and we can create inner class. We can create inner classes, what do you call, for performing inner operations. Then now you try to take decision. Inside exception type class, are we storing any state of the object? Is this class representing any real world object? This class is representing error. It's not representing any real world object. So fields required or not required? Not required. Next, when fields are not required, blocks required or not required? Not required. And this class is meant for performing any business operations? No. Methods are not required. And this class contain any inner object? No. Inner classes not required. Then what will you do with this custom class? With this custom class, you'll perform only 3 operations. Number 1, create object and throw. Next, report. Report it to user programmer. Next, third, catch it in user program. Right? Only 3 operations: create and throw, report it to user program, catch it in a user program. Then create object. If you use create object now with error message, with or without error message, with or without error message. Second, throw it. Third, report it. Fourth, catch it. So now this is the first operation. Then tell me, if you want to create object, what is required? Constructor we required, right? So tell me, Inside exception class, we no need to create variables. We no need to create methods. We no need to create only constructors. How many constructors? Two constructors. One is no param constructor and another is string param constructor. Okay, now one is no param constructor, another is string param constructor. Only two constructors will create. Sleeping, come on, 9 o'clock, sleeping time. Come on, tell me. Ray, now I'm creating a class object. A1 equal to new A equal to new A. Now I'm throwing some error message. Okay, double quotes. Error message, I'm throwing something called Tumri fellow. Some error message I'm throwing Tumri fellow. Then tell me, this Tumri fellow error message is coming to this constructor. Further, where it will go? The error message we are passing must store in this A class object now. And then when you catch in a user program by using e.getMessage, any of you remember? By using e.getMessage, we will read. Okay, by using e.getMessage method, we will read that error message after catching. If you want to read by using e.getMessage, the message must be stored somewhere. Where I should store? Everyone try to answer. Where I should store? You no need to create a field, instance field in your class A. That field is already available in throwable class. Tell me, when you create your exception class object, this A class contain, it's a super class. Who is it super class? Exception class. Exception super class is throwable class. Throwable super class is what? Object class. Okay, now in throwable class, we have the variable error message variable, and also we have variable cause variable. Remember, get cause, get error message. Error variable is of type string, cause variable is of type throwable. Tell me now, the error message you are passing will be go to A class constructor. Then via A class constructor can give to example class constructor. Via example class constructor can give to throwable class constructor. Throwable class constructor message display. Only
This
correct
meeting is
method
being
logic I can
recorded.
terminate, but I cannot terminate my user class. Tell me, I got angry on you. Then if I am scolding by myself with inner voice, can you understand I frustrated? No. I should scold you also, right? Then I should return my scoldings to you. Either terminating or catching and taking next decisions he will take. So if I use if else condition error message, I cannot terminate user programming code. I can terminate only our program. So that's why if else condition is not suitable for projects. Are you catching my point? For object-oriented programming, if-else condition-based error message is not suitable. Then finally, complete list of entry questions and OCJP bits. Whatever I have discussed up to now, all are the same points. By end of this chapter, you will understand the usage of try, catch, finally blocks for catching exception, throws to throw and report exception with their complete list of rules. And also you will learn creating and using a custom exception, Java 7 and 9 new features with respect to exception handling. So this is the complete huge syllabus about exception handling up to the latest features. Hope you enjoyed this chapter, all points. So exception handling based, any questions can you answer now? You got the confidence? How many days I spent, it's not matter, right? So you all points understand and ready for the interview is the important thing. Right. So I have given you complete knowledge on exception handling, which is the most important chapter. Please try to practice once again to remember and search in the Google also for many questions. Exception handling entry questions, exception handling MCQ questions, like that you practice. So we completed exception handling today, and tomorrow both 9 a.m. and 8 p.m. no classes. Next class is on Friday. Friday we'll start multi-threading. Tomorrow you try to learn string handling continuation. Okay, na? So that's all for today class. Good night. Sweet dreams. Bye bye.